Welcome back. Now, when times get tough, the thought of just packing our bags and leaving our worries behind is so tempting. One time or another, we have all fantasized about exploring the world and just going wherever our hearts take us. And that is exactly what this young couple did. Let's take a look.
Have you ever thought about changing your life?
Have you ever wondered if it was worth chasing your wildest dream?
We're here to show you that anyone can do it.
We're a couple that quit our city jobs to follow our dreams.
This is our home, a sailboat called Dali, and the Southeast Asian waters are our playground.
Now, what you just saw was a brief clip of the adventurers of travel documentarians Eva Guerrero and Philip Estillo. They started their life on the water 4 years ago and have been living on their sailboat Dali ever since. So far, they have traveled around the Southeast Asian waters and are currently docked in Kuching, Sarawak. Hello there, Philip and Eva. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having us.
So tell us, what triggered this wanderlust?
Well, I come from quite an international background. My father's French, my mom is German, and I grew up in many different countries in the world.
Right.
So naturally, when I started working, I wanted to get out of France, and I moved to Asia, and I started working in Asia already 15 years ago. And it's the same for Eva, actually. She grew up here in Malaysia.
Growing up in Malaysia, I was so lucky. There's so many different cultures here that I just wanted to see more of that. That was really something that was ingrained in me just growing up in KL, is just see more and absorb everything around me.
And parallel to working overseas and discovering new countries, new cultures, I always had a passion for sailing. I started racing small sailboats at high school when I was a teenager, and slowly that became a huge passion, and I discovered cruising. And so from that time, my main goal, my focus was on buying my own sailboat and sailing around the world. So I put all my energy into that one dream.
Right. Okay, so how did your loved ones react when you decided to just pack up your bags and leave?
Well, they're watching, so I have to be nice. But no, they were really supportive. I think I don't come from a sailing background at all. So I think when I told my parents, like, I'm going to go on a sailboat, they just thought I'm going for holiday, and they kind of dismissed it, like, okay, she'll be back. And then when they realized it's going to be more permanent, you know, they were a little confused, but both our families have been really, really supportive. So thank you, families.
Yeah, I also have very supportive parents who really support my lifestyle. And it's very important because you can't do that without the support of your family, I think.
Right. So on your Facebook page, dream catchers are basically people like you guys. They go out into the world and they're just in search of adventure. What are some of the most interesting characters you've come across?
Well, let me introduce a little bit the concept of dream catchers first. Basically, after sailing for a few years, we always used to come back to the city and meet people who would tell us, oh, what you're doing is amazing, it's great, you change your life, it's awesome, I'd love to do it, but I don't think I can.
Right.
And it really bothered me to hear that, because I think that whoever you are, if you have a dream, even a small dream, if you work hard enough towards achieving that dream, you can do it. And so we thought we've got to find a way to explain to the world, to spread that message, that if you have a dream, go out and put all your energy into achieving it. And that's how we came up with this documentary travel series called Dream Catchers.
So like you said, dream catchers are people who, like us, manage to quit their job, change their life, and give it a whole new meaning. And on the show, we actually sail in search of these dream catchers. And we met people from all walks of life. It was amazing. I mean, some interesting characters like a chimney sweep.
Yeah, in the first episode, the person we interview is a French guy who used to be a chimney sweeper in the south of France for about 20 years. And when he was 35 years old, he decided to completely change his life and move to Indonesia, to a small island off the coast of North Sumatra called Pulau, and he became a fisherman there and married a local woman and has a family there, and he's now a fisherman. So he achieved that dream of completely changing his life, and he told us that he was much happier in his new life than he used to be working in France.
And we really wanted to show that anybody can do it. There was a family who have been living for 14 years on a boat, and they're raising 2 very young kids, you know, and for them, some people think, oh, I have a family, maybe I can't travel, I can't do certain things. But the main obstacles we find are always your own fears and the things that you set in your mind. after that, like the characters that we've met, they've all shown us in their example that it's possible for anyone.
Right.
Even a very interesting character, also a Colombian guy who's my age and who decided his dream was to set up a surf camp in the Mentawais, which are islands off the west coast of Sumatra. And I met him first in 2007, and then we sailed and anchored right in front of his surf camp last year and interviewed him, and it was amazing to see that he actually did it.
I think I saw it in one of your documentaries.
He's in one of
He's in
those.
the clip.
Okay, so you guys live in your sailboat Dali. And I'm sure you guys get this a lot, but how do you upkeep Dali, and how about your daily needs?
Well, living on a sailboat, for me, to put it simply, it's like camping on the water. So there's a lot of preparation, a lot of stuff breaks all the time, a lot of planning ahead.
I'd say the main thing is the maintenance of the boat. On the boat, it's a very harsh environment because it's the salt, the humidity, the water, the air. So basically the first thing is to maintain the boat. There's something breaks down every day and needs to be fixed. For me, that was the steepest learning curve because I knew how to sail, but I barely had held a screwdriver in my hand before I bought my boat. So I was facing that big struggle the first few years. After 2 or 3 years, everything broke down at least once. So now I'm able to fix things, but that's one of the main struggles.
Yeah.
How about you, Eva? Can you fix the boat? Can you?
I can try. I can calm him down when he's fixing the stuff. No, and sometimes you're faced with situations where you have no choice but to just try to make the best of this terrible breakdown of something. So
it's teamwork, I guess.
Yeah. Even if you don't fix it fully, we've done some temporary fixes sometimes.
Okay, so how do you decide on your next destination, or do you guys just wing it?
That's the beauty of living on a sailboat. Of course we have ideas, we have dreams. There's places we want to see, but then sometimes we say tomorrow we're going to sail to that island, and we wake up and the wind is blowing the other way, and it's impossible to go in that direction. So we have to go completely change our plans last minute, go a completely different place, and usually that's when we discover the most beautiful places, actually.
It's a beautiful way to be able to live, to have that sort of freedom to just look at a map and be like, wow, this bay looks amazing. Why don't we go discover? Why don't we go see what's there and just be able to do it?
I think the biggest freedom that we have is that we don't have a routine and that we're depending a lot on the elements. We use the sun to charge our batteries to get power. We use the rainwater to drink and to cook. Right. I spearfish to get fish to have fresh protein.
We use the wind to move.
Yeah, and so depending on the elements and not having this routine of going to the same job every morning, that's the beauty of that life. That's why I really wanted it. And of course, being so close to nature.
Yeah. Okay, so now every traveler has a story. What would be a story that you would carry with you for the rest of your life?
I think on this last journey that we had in Indonesia, we were gone for a long time, and it was a really rough environment. It was wildly beautiful, but also really, really hostile at times. And we had been sailing many months, and it had been tiring, and we were at a point in our trip where our morale was really low. And we were sitting on the deck, and our engine had broken, sailing against the wind, and suddenly out of the water we see this big black fin. And we're just staring at it thinking, what could it possibly be?
You forgot the most important part of the story. We were sitting there and Eva said, I'm a little bit depressed at the moment. This is stuff. I'd like to see some dolphins. Because dolphins always come and play with the boat and cheer us up. And I said, it would be nice to see dolphins, but it would be even better to see a whale. We've never seen one. And then literally, I'm not even joking, about 20 seconds after I said that, this fin come out of the water and the animal turned and it was an orca that just passed us by.
And we were just completely lost for words. And I think, I'm not especially religious, I don't know. I just think it was a message from the universe to just tell us, okay, just keep going, it'll get better. And after that, we reflected a lot, and I think I'll never forget that orca.
Yeah, you guys should not give up. For me, if I need some cheering up, I go for ice cream. You guys get dolphins, so, okay. So before we wrap up, I know that you guys are about to launch your docuseries. Can you guys give us a bit more details on that?
Yes, we are in post-production mode at the moment. We need another couple of months for post-production. It will be on air in Malaysia on a travel channel before the end of the year. And we're trying to find distribution opportunities everywhere in the world as well.
Yeah. But you can follow us. We're on Facebook, Instagram. We'll be releasing a lot more information about when you can watch the series. And we'd also love to hear from you because maybe we can find our next dream catcher. If you guys have any stories, anyone,
course. Okay. And thank you so much again for joining us.
Thanks so much,
Thank you.
Amanda.
Thank you. And with that item, we bring 7 Edition to a close. I'm Amanda Chaang. Thanks for watching and have a lovely evening.